This is a special video for me because it documents the inaugural trip of Elle, the campervan, which is wet in this photo because apparently it's a bug magnet. I purchased this van around a month ago, intending to use it to facilitate longer trips through Michigan and beyond. I spent much of that month restoring it, specifically sanding out rust and repainting those areas, and I also started customizing it for my purposes, but that's another video for another time, and possibly even another channel. Today I took the van on a short photography trip. I wanted to go somewhere that's close to home just to ensure there wouldn't be any surprising problems that come about on a longer trip. So after days of Michigan's weather not cooperating, photographers ephemeris predicted a decent sunset in the South Haven, Michigan area. For those who don't know, historically South Haven has been a port city. Its Wikipedia article refers to it as the Catskills of the Midwest, referring to its status as a resort town since the early 1900s. But a discussion of its history would be remiss without mentioning that Iroquois and Potawatomi peoples had inhabited the area prior to colonization. In the 1850s, the area saw its first permanent settlers arrive. A schoolhouse was built, and the first physician, lawyer, merchant, and minister began operating in the area. Its first hotel was built in 1853, known as the Forest House. And owing to a boom from the timber harvested in the area, an amusement park, a casino, an opera house, and resorts popularized the city in the early 1900s. Prior to arriving, I knew what I was going to shoot already, the South Haven South Pier Headlight. It's still an operational lighthouse, having initially been lit in 1872. I was there several years ago where I shot some images of a supermoon behind the lighthouse, and they didn't turn out as I'd hoped due to cloud cover. And since then, this lighthouse has been on my list of places to revisit. Alright, so I am here in my camper van that I bought for doing photography stuff. And I'll give you guys a quick tour here. Just flip this camera around. Got the door. Have all of the power switches over here, turning the inverter on. This turns the pump for the sink on. Lights on over here, and this shows the power consumption. And got some more space back there. But I'll go into more of that later for, a van tour type video. So I drove out to South Haven today, and I'm hoping to get a decent sunset. It's looking like it could be okay. Photographers ephemeris said that it looked reasonable here. The beach is a lot busier than I thought, and finding a parking space for this behemoth of a van, it's 20 feet long, was not fun. I think that the sunset ended up being a bit better than I'd anticipated, which I'm not going to complain about. I found a hill with some bushes that I thought could make an excellent frame for an image. It's a bit far from the lighthouse, but the beach was incredibly busy, and I still want to distance myself from people due to the pandemic. I think it still made for some compelling storytelling, and I remembered this time that I have been meaning to shoot some sky shots for sky replacements to play around with in Luminar AI, so I did that as well. I also thought this would be a good time to do some time-lapse video and some panoramic shots. Well, I feel like I got some really good shots, but I won't know until I get back to the house and have a chance to look through them, which probably won't be until tomorrow. So, you guys will know before I do if any turned out. But I am incredibly sweaty. It is incredibly hot out here. And yeah, I think I'm gonna make my way back to my camper van. I finished the night watching the last remnants of the sunset from the back of my van, which I'm sure I'll do a lot more in the future. I have a lot to cull through and edit from this shoot, but this is the image that I chose and edited for this video. It's particularly interesting to me because a random woman walked into frame and pulled out her phone to either photograph or record the sunset. So, thanks, random woman, for helping me tell a story in this image, and thank you everyone for watching this video. I'll see you all again next week.